Hello there. Thanks for joining me today. This is just going to be a nice, gentle, full body stretch. We're just going to start this one in a nice, easy seated position. If you would like to grab a block or a bolster to sit on, go ahead and grab that now. We're just going to meet in our comfy seat here. Once you get here, let's just go ahead and bring the hands to the thighs or the knees and close the eyes down for just a moment. Taking notice of the space that is around you, the feelings within the body here. Beginning to try to not get lost in the thoughts, but instead to come back to the breath. Bring all of our focus on the inhale and the exhale. Nice and slow. Listening to the body. Listening to the spirit. And noticing the mind. Go ahead and flutter those eyelids back to open. We're going to get our wrists warm up. So we'll just start with circles one way. We'll do 3 each way. So we'll go ahead and reverse that circle to go the other way. Beautiful. Left hand goes in front. Let's go and take the right fingers and pull back on the left fingers. And the thumb. And right arm goes out. Left fingers pull on right fingers. And the thumb. Beautiful. Let's interlace the hands and roll them one way. And the other way. Push them out in front, so palms facing forward now. On an inhale, we'll lift those hands up, maybe taking the gaze up as well. Slowly, we release, bring the interlace behind the back, stretch. Shoulder blades come together, hands are pulling away from our booties. Gaze can be lifted. And gentle release. Go ahead and bring the hands to the knees. We're going to take circles. We're going to go both ways. So let's go ahead and start towards the right and over towards the left. When we come back, we're rounding through that spine. We push forward, we're taking more of that cat action, and we come back, we're taking more of the cat. Just getting some movement into the spine. Letting it know that we are about to work on the body. When you completed the full 3, let's go ahead and go the other way. Beautiful. Back up. We're going to slowly come around onto our hands and knees. And we're going to go right on ahead and tuck the toes and send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Once you get here, go ahead and pedal the feet out.
Beautiful. When it feels good, you can go and walk your hands back to your feet. Ragdoll here, grabbing opposite elbows, swaying left to right. Nice bend in the knees. Maybe some little pulses up and down here. Still holding on to those opposite elbows. Next inhale brings us up to a half lift. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we're going to peel all the way up. Go ahead and take the arms up and overhead. Catch that right wrist, pull it over towards the left. Inhale brings us back up. Catch that left wrist, pull it over to the right. Inhale brings us back up. Arms are actively reaching up and overhead. Let's go and come up onto those tiptoes. And can you lower on your tiptoes into a forward fold? Little swan dive action here. And when you land, if you couldn't go on the tiptoes the whole way, go ahead and come onto your tiptoes here. Hands can come to the mat wherever it is. And exhale, heels plant. Very nice. Go ahead and walk the hands forward, back into our downward facing dog. And once you get here, we're going to take that right leg up, 3-leg dog. We're going to bring the right knee to right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, and we've made a box. Step that right foot to the outer edge of that right hand. We're going to lower down this back knee if that feels good. We're in lizard here. Just feeling that stretch in these hips. That left hip flexor should be feeling this along with this outer right hip. If you want to take it a step further, you can bend through that left knee. Try to reach around and grab it with your right hand. More for the ankle instead of the foot. And it's just a light pressure here. We don't want to be forcing that leg towards the thigh. Beautiful. Release that hand. Allow that leg to come back to the mat. We're going to spin around here. So our left knee bends and we sit on that left hip. Right leg's coming around. So we're coming in for our twist here. If you just want to hug this knee, go ahead and just hug this knee. If you want to wrap this elbow around the left elbow around the right, be my guest. Whichever option you prefer. Right hand up and overhead. Coming back to that breath. Nice big inhales. Slow, steady exhales. One more round of breath here. Slowly, we'll spin back around. Right foot's going to go out long. Left foot is tucked in. We're going to side bend. Right hand comes to the mat. Left hand up and overhead. Just actively reaching towards that right side here. Continuing to breathe those nice steady inhales and exhales. One more round of breath here. Next inhale brings us back up. Right foot's already towards the front of the mat, so we're just going to plant it. We're coming into Warrior 3 prep. So go ahead and meet me there. Hands are on the mat. Left leg is kicking back. Squaring off those hips. Beautiful. Left foot meets right. Inhale brings us up. Chair. Arms up and overhead. Tucking that tailbone. Maybe sit a little deeper. One more round of breath. And come to stand, hands by the side. Noticing the energy running down the body here. Next inhale, those arms go up. Exhale, slice through the sky. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step the feet back. Plank. Go ahead and send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful jobs. Pushing equally through the shoulders here. Next inhale takes that left leg up. 3-leg dog. Squared hips. Now we're going to make that box. So we're going to roll forward. Left knee to left elbow. Left wrist. Right wrist. Left elbow. Step it. Outer edge of that left hand. Once you get here, if you want to go ahead and lower down that back knee, be my guest. Or you can keep it lifted. Feeling that hip flexor stretch on the right and that outer hip on the left now. Tapping back into the breath. Now, if you've not lowered down that back knee, go ahead and lower it. Maybe bend through it and try to catch that foot with the left hand. You can also play with just some active stretching here where you're just trying to pull that leg in without grabbing it. Take one more round of breath here. Beautiful. Release that leg back down. Go ahead and walk the hands back. So we're going to sit down on that right leg and thigh now. Left leg's coming beside right thigh. Beautiful. Once again, we're either hugging this leg with the right arm or we're tucking this right elbow behind this left knee. Left hand reaches behind us. And here we come, tapping back into the breath. One more round of breath here. And we'll spin back around. Left leg goes out long. Right foot tucks. Left hand comes to the mat. Right hand up and overhead. Beautiful side body stretch here. Actively reaching towards the left side. Opening up through the heart chest space. And we'll take one more round of breath here. Slowly we'll rise up. Left foot plants, and we're coming into that Warrior 3 prep. So hands are going to come to the mat. Send that right leg back, and we are backwards on our mat. No worries. Square those hips off. Beautiful. Right foot meets left. Coming into chair. So on our next inhale, we'll send those arms up, tuck in that tailbone, and coming into chair. One more round of breath, maybe sinking a little lower. And exhale, we stand Tadasana, feeling that energy pulsing through us. Beautiful. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, we'll slice. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, we'll plant the hands, step the feet back, plank. Lower down the knees, the chest, and the chin. Pause here. Breathe into that low back. Slowly come into our cobra. On your next exhale, we'll push back, child's pose. You can take wide-legged or not. Choice is yours. One more round of breath here. And then we'll slowly peel up. We're going to bring those feet outer edges of the mat. Come in for our yogi squat. Hands at heart center, elbows pushing against those knees. Go ahead and put that big smile on your face. Feel the stretch in those hips, lengthening through the spine here. Let's go and take the left hand down. Reach that right arm up, big opening stretch. Back to center. Right hand comes down. I might have said the opposite side. Left hand comes up. If you did the other side, just reach for the other side. I try to keep the dyslexic at bay, but it's right and left do be confusing me, and that's okay. And back to center. Booty comes down. We're going to either take reverse plank or reverse all fours. So whichever one you feel more comfortable with. If you're doing all fours, this is going to be the setup. And if you're doing reverse plank, it's going to look more like this. Next inhale lifts us up. Send the hips up and maybe take the head back. 3 rounds of breath here. You got this. One more full round. Slowly release, bringing the feet together, knees go apart. We're coming in for cobbler. If you want to take a wider cobbler, be my guest. The wider cobbler gets more into our IT bands. We don't get enough stretch for those. Go ahead and bring your hands to your feet. Give your feet a nice little massage. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just showing such a used area a little love. I believe it will go a long way. And when it feels good, you can go ahead and just come forward. We're trying to keep the spine nice and lengthened. So I'm not allowing you to round, but we will. So we're going to take 3 rounds of breath with a lengthened spine here, and then we'll round for 3 rounds. And if you want, you can round through the spine now. 3 rounds of breath. One more round. Slowly, we'll peel up and we'll all come back to the comfortable seat. Opposite leg tucked if you tuck your legs to come into this position. Once you get here, let's go and close the eyes down. We're just going to take a few moments to evaluate the body. A few more moments to be with ourselves in peace. This may be the only moment of peace you get today. We should cherish these moments with ourselves. Doing this for ourselves. Unclenching that forehead. Softening through the eyes. Releasing the clench of the jaw. Taking the tongue off of the roof of the mouth. Lengthening through the neck. Relaxing through the shoulders. Slowly, we can bring our hands to heart center. Our quote today comes from Richard Freeman. He says, yoga begins with the listening. When we are listening, we are giving space to what is. Today, I challenge you not to listen to the outer world around you, but to try to listen to the inner voice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you more than my words could ever express. As always, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this. I know some of you love gentle flows, so I like to incorporate these. One of my favorite reasons of practicing yoga is there's so many styles. If we don't feel like practicing, we can still do something good for our bodies without it being more of a workout. So thank you for showing up, even when you may not feel like it. I look forward to seeing you back on the mat, and I hope you have a marvelous rest of your day.